Bro, there's an epidemic. The loneliness bruh. The loneliness epidemic, right? Because there's a difference between being alone and loneliness. You can be in a crowd and you are no longer alone, but you could be in a crowd and you are still lonely. You understand? It's an internal feeling. There are simple ways to resolve how you're feeling, right? First of all, you have to be honest with yourself and you got to evaluate yourself. That's the first, and that's low key the most important step. That is the most important step. Sit down with yourself, really think, why do you feel this way? What are the byproducts of this loneliness? In what ways has it manifested in your life? Like, you're lonely. How has it affected you? You see the ways that it's affected you, and you're gonna have to be wanting to willing to get better, because the thing about the human condition is that the human condition is to be used to what it's familiar with. You feel me? If you're familiar with misery, you're going to go back to misery. That's a fact, bro. That's just that's the facts. I don't make the rules, bro. Anyways, when you acknowledge that, you then have to adopt a growth mindset. You cannot be someone who is constantly in their head or who is constantly fixating on problems, bro. You need to slowly but gradually try and learn to appreciate small things, all right? That's appreciation is something that's really big. Secondly, bro, well, thirdly or whatever, I forget, but another thing that really helps is finding things that you like to do. Find things that you like to do, and from there, you can low key find a community of people that like to do the same things, right? And from the community, you can find like minded individuals like you know, maybe people you relate to in certain ways, people you might look up to, people you might admire, people whose time and company you value. Because ultimately, a good friend is a second self. That's what at least Socrates said. Socrates or Plato, one of those old niggas. But if you just follow these simple steps, it's simple. Notice how I said simple and not easy, because just because something is simple doesn't mean it's easy, you know? It's hard to try and break the habit of overthinking. It's hard to try and step outside of your anxiety. It's hard to do these things. You know what I mean? It's simple, but it's hard to do. But not the price, but the trade-off, the things you get in when you trade in your anxiety and when you trade in your overthinking is a better quality of life, bro. Without a doubt, right? But I have actually this one friend who's very lonely, right? And that's what he'll tell you. And if that's what he feels, then that is true. Then he is lonely. And he would tell me all of this stuff, and he would vent the way he would feel, right? And in almost every single thing he told me, there was a solution, and I would tell him a solution, and I would be there to really try and help him and guide him. But ultimately, I'll give you an example. One of the things he wanted was a girlfriend, right? And explained to this guy, I explained to my friend, not this guy. This guy, because you guys don't know him, right? But I explained to my friend that something like getting a girlfriend is really not as deep and really not as difficult as you may think it is or as it seems, bro. Because ultimately, you want to attract somebody who is like minded to you and somebody that can care for you and love you. You feel me? But if you can't even if you can't even love yourself, if you can't love yourself and you think that you're going to find that value in another person to try and put that to you, to put that in you, you are mistakenly wrong and you will be shattered into a million pieces, bro. I put that on God. If your mind is already a dark place and it's riddled with anxiety, overthinking, and just things like that, by the time you get into a relationship, this is what I would tell him. By the time you get into a relationship, you attract somebody, you are already prone to negativity, overthinking, anxiety. Those same things will plague your relationship and it will ruin what could have been a blessing. So truly, you need to do the internal work. You need to figure out your demons. And this goes out to everybody watching the video. You need to figure out your demons. Try and lift yourself up out of this place, bro. You feel me? Trying to find hobbies that you enjoy, activities to pass the time that you can find some joy in. Something, maybe develop a skill, because we're human beings and beings are very creative. We love to create, and creating something, especially seeing yourself evolve in creating something and seeing how great it can become, how great your skills can become, is something that gives us happiness. It brings us fulfillment, right? So that's something that really will help you and really assist you on your journey, on your path. Ultimately, the thing that can really, really give you peace and fulfillment at all times is if you find God. Some people are atheists, though. Some people do not believe in God, right? So finding hobbies can be enough. Finding things that you love, things of that nature, right? But the key to this is to take this time of loneliness and to work on yourself, build positive habits, and these positive habits will create for you a positive life where you don't have to be lonely, bro. And even if you are alone, your presence is enough. So you are never lonely. You understand? Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please let me know by liking. Comment down below opinions. This is something that I want to hear opinions on. Like, I like all my videos, but this is definitely something I want to hear opinions on. Comment down below what you think. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.